this is gonna be a library haul, and I don't know what any of these books are, and I feel like really bad at creating synopses for books that I've never read, even ones I have read. I think I'm just gonna read the synopses to y'all. Y'all don't want to hear that? Go ahead, pop off. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Because also I'm dyslexic, so take that with what you may or may not know about that. So the first one I have is I'll Have What He's Having. Let's commence. It says, true love only takes a taste. When it comes to love, substitute teacher Farzeh is a disaster. Heartbroken again. He's drowning his sorrows at Kansas City's newest wine bar. Only instead of being crowded between strangers, he's escorted to a VIP table for one. There, the hot sommelier does more than treat him to the meal of his life. The way he flirts with Farzeh ignites instant sparks. There's just one problem. David thinks Farzeh is Kansas City's most influential food critic. The truth comes out only after the two spend an unforgettable night together. Good news. Both think the mix-up is hilarious. Bad news. David is studying to become a master sommelier and has no interest in a relationship. Neither expects their paths to cross again until Farzeh inherits his family bistro. The two agree to a friends without benefits exchange. David will share his industry knowledge and Farzeh will help David study. Only business turns to pleasure when they can't ignore the attraction still sizzling between them. But with David set on moving across country after his test and Farzeh committed to his family restaurant, how can their relationship last? So there's that. Next we have A Little Kissing Between Friends. It says, music producer on the rise, Sin the star knows what she likes, from her sickening beats in the studio to her flirty femmes and she fools around with. Her rotating roster has never been a problem until her latest fling clashes with Judas, her best friend and the most popular dancer at the strip club, Santi. It makes Sin see Judas in a different light, one with far fewer boundaries and a lot more kissing. Julius Jones makes great money dancing the early shift and spends most of her evenings with her son, her Santee family, or at Sin's house. Relationships are not high on the priority list until she's forced to admit that maybe friendship isn't the only thing she wants from her bestie. But hooking up with your ride or die is risky. Judas isn't just Sin's best friend. Judas is her muse. When Sin lays down her tracks, it's Judas she imagines in the club, throwing it back to every note. If they aren't careful, this could crash and burn. But isn't real love worth it? So there's that. We've got Cursebound, and I don't think I can read you this. Yeah, united by war, betrayed by destiny, cursed by love. This is the continuation to Faebound. This is the sequel. I'm not going to read you the synopsis because it would spoil Faebound. There's that. We have Pet. There are no monsters anymore, or so the children in the city of Lucille are taught. Jam and her best friend, Redemption, have grown up with this lesson all their lives. But when Jam meets Pet, a creature made of horns and colors and claws who emerges from one of her mother's painting and a drop of Jam's blood, she must reconsider what she's been told. Pet has come to hunt a monster, and the shadow of something grim lurks in Redemption's house. Jam must fight not only to protect her best friend, but also to uncover the truths. The answer to the question, how do you save the world from monsters if no one will admit they exist? In their riveting and timely young adult debut, acclaimed novelist Akwaeke Emezi asks difficult questions about what choices you can make when society around you is in denial. How fitting. We got Fake Feminism, Why We Fall for White Feminists, and How to Stop It. This is a long one. Whoa, it's on both pages. I don't know if you'll get that much from me. Anyways, feminism is at a crossroads. Feminism is at a crossroad. While more popular than ever, it has simultaneously become a tool of capitalism and white supremacy. Fake feminists, such as white feminists and corporate feminists, as well as right-wing appropriations of feminists, are leading the charge, united by their emphasis on a single value: freedom in fake feminism. Political philosopher Serene Hajar. Nope, that's not. I'm thinking of the Formula One race car. Kahader advocates for another feminism, one that doesn't overwhelmingly serve white affluent #girl bosses, but one that is all around us, often in the movements of women of color and women in the global south. By dismantling concepts like the freedom myth, I'm going to call her by her first name, Serene, if I said that right. presents a range of concrete ways to transform the current feminist movement from one that is focused on individual freedom to one focused on equality, including real-life examples of women navigating exclusionary feminism in the workplace, in politics, in family settings, and more. Fake feminism identifies the traps that white feminism lays for all of us, asking readers to think critically about why we fall for those feminists, for these feminists, for the few, and how we can embrace those powerful alternatives. There's that. Then, because they're closest to me, we have 2 DVDs. My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I actually have no idea what this is about. I'm assuming a Greek wedding. Oh, is there summaries? There are summaries on the back of DVDs. Shut the front door. Tallulah, I don't know, is 30 and unmarried, which means as a nice Greek girl, she's a failure. All her cousins did the right thing, married Greek boys and made Greek babies. So everyone worries, what will become of her? Then one day she sees the ultimate unattainable guy and realizes the only way her life will get better is if she gets away from her big fat Greek family. Tallulah escapes from the family restaurant. She exchanges her seating hostess jacket for a college diploma. Convinces her aunt to give her a new job and trades in her Coke bottle glasses for contact lenses. Oh, the makeover! Just in time for him to walk back into her life. Ian Miller is tall, handsome, but definitely not Greek. The courtship in an Olympian culture clash? Oh, I get it. Can Ian handle Tallulah, her parents, her aunts, her uncles, cousins, and several centuries of Greek heritage? Will Tallulah discover the love she's been missing right in the heart of her big fat family? One thing is for sure, for better or worse, for richer or poor, with Ian's proposal, Tallulah is headed for her big fat Greek wedding. Anastasia. Based on a true story and brought to life with stunning animations and the voice of Meg Ryan, John Cusack, Kelsey Grammer, Hank Azaria, Christopher Lloyd, and Angela Lansbury. Anastasia is the epic tale of breathtaking action and intrigue, certain to captivate the entire family. A spellbinding mix of adventure, comedy, romance, and music, this acclaimed animated spectacle tells the thrilling story of the lost Russian princess Anastasia and her incredible quest to find her true identity. When the shadow of revolution falls across Russia, the royal family's youngest daughter barely escapes with her life. Years later, Anastasia and a band of heroic companions must battle the evil Rasputin, his sidekick Bartok. The bat, is that what the bat's name is? Bartok? I don't know why that's funny. And a host of ghastly minions in a headlong race to reach Paris, reclaim her rightful destiny and solve the greatest mystery of the 20th century. Okay, then we have Minor Feelings. A ruthlessly honest, emotionally charged, and utterly original exploration of Asian American consciousness and the struggle to be human. Poet and essayist Cathy Park Hong fearlessly and proactively, I don't feel like that's the word, you know what? I didn't learn phonics. Sue me. Or sue, actually, the Georgia Department of Education. Blends memoir, cultural criticism, and history to expose fresh truths about radicalized consciousness in America. Part memoir and part cultural criticism, this collection is vulnerable, humorous, and provocative. Is that what that word is? Provocative. And its relentless and riveting pursuit of vital questions around family and friendship, art and politics, identity and individuality will change the ways you think about our world. Binding these essays together in Hong's theory of minor feelings is, as a daughter of Korean immigrants, Cathy Park Hong grew up steeped in shame, suspicion, and melancholy. She would later understand that these minor feelings occur when American optimism contradicts your own reality, when you believe the lies you're told about your own racial identity. Minor feelings are not small. They're dissonant, and in their tension, Hong finds the key to the questions that haunt her. With sly humor and a poet's searching mind, Hong uses her own story as a portal into a deeper examination of racial consciousness in America today. This intimate and devastating book traces her relationship to the English language, to shame and oppression, to poetry and female friendship. A radical, honest work of art, Minor Feeling forms a portrait of one Asian American psyche and of a writer's search to both uncover and speak the truth. Someone wrote in it, and by someone I mean a child. But there's that one. Then we have Rage, on being queer, black, and brilliant, and completely over it. Let's see, a debut novel from Entertainment Weekly writer and former Out magazine editor Lester Fabian Barthwaite. Rage is a darkly comedic exploration of blackness, queerness, and the American dream at the time when creative anger feels like the best response to inequality. One romantic hopeful had greeted Lester Fabian Barthwaite on a dating app with this gem: "You into race play?" What does that mean? Race play? Okay, all right. Being young, queer, gifted, and black, Lester found that his best tool for navigating American life is gallows humor. If you don't laugh, you cry, or you summon your inner rage. With biting wit, Lester's book Rage interrogates all the ways that systemic racism and homophobia have shaped our society, all to pose the provivial question: Can a girl live? Rage is one part memoir, one part cultural critique, one part live Grenade? Grenade? I don't know. Lester constructs his tragic magic love life with the ideas he had formed from marathoning straight white Hollywood descriptions. And he is quick to side-A the misogyny and internalized homophobia that some people reveal in statements like "mask for mask" on dating profiles. Lester also dives deep into representation of queer life from drag Okay, could you speak? Do I know how to read? It's up for debate, honestly. From RuPaul's Drag Race to the bird cage, Robin Williams was a snack in Versace. And explores our cultural understanding of black genius through stories of James Baldwin, Whitney Houston, and Nina Simone. Lasers. Oh my god, my dyslexia is coming out hard, y'all. I just combined words. Lester's razor-sharp voice, coupled with his searing social commentary on the topics such as dating, rejection, racism, sexuality, identity, and more, offers an increasingly divided world an engaging and original read. Well, that does sound really interesting. Then we have this. Soma? This is, I guess, a comic book, a graphic novel. Who knows? Anyways, I think this is a graphic novel because of how thick it is. Comics can't be this thick, right? Anyways. Maya is a comic book artist in the middle of a creative crisis. She's constantly stressed about deadlines and feels like she's not doing the type of work she loves. In between trying to find her writer's block and doling out dating advice to her best friend, Maya receives an unexpected visitor, Soma, an extraterrestrial being who crash lands in Maya's living room. Soma delivers a message to Maya, warning her that an alien invasion from his own kind is fast approaching, and he needs her help to stop it. So we have While We're Young. This one is Grace, Issa, and Everett used to be an inseparable trio before their love lives became a tangled mess. For starters, Grace is secretly in love with Everett, who used to go out with Issa before breaking her heart in the infamous freshman year fracture. And oh yeah, no one knows that Issa has been hanging out with James, Grace's brother, and if Grace finds out, it could ruin their friendship. With graduation fast approaching, Grace decides a senior skip day in Philadelphia might just be what they need to fix things. All she has to do is convince Issa to help her kidnap Everett and outmaneuver James, who's certain his sister is up to something. And an epic day that includes racing up the famous Rocky Steps, taste testing Philly's finest cheesesteaks, and crashing a wedding. Their secrets are bound to collide, but can their hearts withstand the wreckage? Girl, I don't know. Let's see. You Between the Lines. This one says, Lee loves writing poetry, but she's never quite recovered from the scathing, hostile, no substance comment on her high school crush made during a writing workshop 10 years ago. Lee's acceptance into an esteemed master's program is a chance to rebuild her creative confidence. She's intimidated but excited to meet all her talented classmates until the final writer arrives, and it's none other than her teen crush turned literary nemesis, William. Will is still maddeningly attractive and so completely insufferable. He's not just in Leah's poetry cohort. He's also working with her at the writing center. Wow. And competing with her for a career-making fellowship. Lee is determined not to engage, but in a group as small as theirs, they can't keep apart for long. With each increasingly personal poem, they workshop. Ooh. Lee and Will realize that there's more on the page than just their past. What's smoldering between the lines may even be more interesting. Okay, now we got Always the Almost. Let's see, a trans pianist, there we go, a trans pianist makes a New York City resolution on a frozen Wisconsin night to win regionals and win back his ex. But a new boy complicates things in this heartfelt debut YA rom drama. 16-year-old trans boy Miles has two New Year's resolutions: win back his ex-boyfriend and star of the football team, Shane. Finally beat his slimy arch nemesis at the Midwest's biggest classical piano competition. But that's not going to be easy. For one thing, Shane broke up with Miles 2 weeks after Miles came out as trans, and now Shane's stubbornly ignoring him, even when they literally bump into each other. Plus, Miles' new, slightly terrifying piano teacher keeps telling him that he's playing like he doesn't know who he is. Whatever that means. I just finished the book where the philosophy teacher was like, "You don't know who you are, babes." And he didn't. It's funny. Then Miles meets the new boy in town, Eric, a proudly queer cartoonist from Seattle who asks his pronouns, cares about art as much as he does, and makes his stomach flutter. Not what he needs to be focusing on right now. But after Eric and Miles pretend to date so they can score an invite to a couples only Valentine date party, the ruse turns real with a kiss, which is definitely not in the plan. If only Miles could figure out why Eric likes him so much. After all, it's not like he's cool or confident or comfortable in his own skin. He's not even good enough at piano to get his fellow competitors to respect him, especially now as Miles. Nothing's ever been as easy for him as for the other boys. He's only ever been almost enough. So why, when he's with Eric, does it feel like the only person he's ever really not been enough for is himself? So there's that. We have Behind the Waterline. And it says, when Hurricane Katrina approaches New Orleans, teenaged Eric and his grandmother and many of their neighbors decide to ride out the storm. Kiona Walker Le Sorry. Masterful debut novel brings her readers like the rising water onto Eric Street in the 3rd Ward. New Orleans has wards? Houston has wards. Where stranded dogs bark for a time, where neighbors are floating on doors, and where Eric and his grandmother must take refuge in his 2nd floor bedroom. After days of heat, dwindling supplies, and relentless rising water, neighbors begin to disappear, and Eric's grandmother, already known as an eccentric, begins to falter. It is then that Eric, in a dream, a hallucination, or something else, discovers a room beyond his closet wall, a place he has never seen. What he discovers inside will send him on a path to discover secrets to survival, bitter progress, and ultimately the history of his own people, those he sorely misses and those he never even knew. There's that. And last but not least, we have Painted Devils, another sequel. The first book is Little Thieves. And is there a tagline? Oh, yeah, there is. Ready? Let's get one thing straight. Venka wasn't trying to start a cult. My maniacal laugh, because she probably really wasn't, but she finds herself in odd predicaments. So that, you think I can pick these up? I feel like those girly pops who have like giant unboxings, like an actual booktuber. Ready? Oh my god. Can I? Whoa! Whoa! Okay, this is my library haul. Yeah, all for free. Well, you know, I pay my taxes, so, but relatively free. Ah! Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed or didn't enjoy me reading. I don't really know. The synopses of all but 2 of these books and DVDs. Oh, catch you guys in the next one for sure. Well, now's the time. We gotta go. Okay, bye. You thought we were done. The library texted me. I had more holds, so why not give you the small update? We have Dungeons and Drama. No, this one says, no one loves musicals more than Riley. Her dream is to be a Broadway director, but when the spring show is canceled, Riley has to figure out a way to bring it back. Easier said than done. She's stuck working at her dad's game store, the place that means more to him than his family. Riley can't waste time at a dead-end job when her entire future is resting on making a name for herself. So she convinces her coworker, Nathan, the floppy-haired, glasses-wearing guy she barely knows from school, to help her. In exchange, she'll help him make his gamer girl crush jealous. Plus, it won't hurt to hurt her ex. Plus, it won't hurt to show her egotistical ex, Paul, just what he's missing without her. Soon, Riley and Nathan are a couple, and people seem to believe it. But selling the ruse means joining Nathan's role-playing game. To Riley's surprise, the game is almost fun. And even more surprising, flirting with Nathan doesn't require as much acting as she thought it would. So there's that. Then, the 2 that I'm actually the most excited about, look at these. I have The River Has Roots. Oh, what is stronger than death? 2 sisters singing with one breath. In the small town of Thistleford, on the edge of Fae, the mysterious Hawthorne family tends the willow trees there. For as long as anyone can remember, the Hawthorns have paid tribute to the willow trees, honoring the ancient compact to sing to them in thanks for their magic. None, though, have taken up this calling more devotedly than the family's latest daughters, Esther and Yasbel, who cherish each other as much as they cherish the trees. But when Esther rejects a forceful suitor in favor of a lover from the land of Fae, not only the sisters' bond, but also their lives will be at risk. You know, I feel like I read this at Barnes & Noble, and I thought, ooh, yeah. And then reading that again feels like I did not read this at all. So there's that. And then, hold on, let me take my sticker off. The Unworthy. I've picked this up and put this down so many times because I feel it will scare me. So, this one says, from her cell in a mysterious convent, cloistered away from the climate catastrophe that has plunged the world into chaos, a woman writes the story of her life in whatever she can find: discarded ink, dirt, even her own blood. A lower member of the sacred sisterhood, deemed an unworthy, she dreams of ascending to the ranks of the enlightened at the center of the convent, and of pleasing the forbidding superior sister. But when a strange newcomer joins the ranks of the unworthy, the narrator is forced to consider her long-buried past. As she grows closer to the newcomer, she is increasingly haunted by questions that she can no longer ignore. How did she get to the sacred sisterhood? Why can't she remember her life? And what really happens when a woman is chosen to be enlightened? Yikes. Anyways, I'm so pumped for these. Okay, now we're really done because I'm about to go edit this right now. Can you hear the washing machine making huge ass noises? Okay, bye.